Librans, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for mid-November right through to mid-December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is your singles love reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who's coming in towards you. Also, you may notice I'm in a different environment than usual. I've just gone to visit family members for a couple of days. I'll be back in my usual space after that. But this space, whilst it is beautiful, it is literally on a road. Okay, so there's a lot of traffic. There's going to be occasional loud trucks driving on by. I hope it does not impede your reading, but it is pretty close, so I thought I would warn you about the external sounds before I start your reading, just so you're aware and not kind of like, what's that? So that's what it is. Okay, so let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? What do they need to be aware of at this time? Can you please show them the way regarding their love life? What's going on with them and what is to come? Can you please highlight what they need to know? So the first card there is the Hierophant. So this can indicate that you're learning about yourself at this time. It is the inner teacher card, but it's also an energy of you kind of like being a little bit stricter with yourself, holding yourself to higher standards, you know, healthy boundaries, but also it can be that you are saving yourself for the one. I'm also getting, wow, okay, I'm seeing a sign in the water right now. I'm seeing school, okay, school, that's all I'm seeing, a sign saying school. So some of you may be actually putting yourself on a course of learning or putting yourself through college or university right now. Some of you, if you're a parent, for example, could also be that you may meet, you know, someone at your child's school, for example. So I'm just going to leave it like that because I'm just seeing the word school. But also symbolically, that can be that you are in the school of life right now. You're learning a lot about people, about their intentions, about yourself, what you deserve in a relationship, what you want. You're leaning a little bit more into your life philosophy, your belief system, having lots of revelations about yourself, and you know, the sort of experiences you've had in a relationship in the past and what you want now. For some of you with that Tower in the resistance position, you may feel a little bit isolated, alone sometimes. You know, you deserve a relationship. I certainly see that you're going to have one because the energy, you know, the Hierophant is all about marriage. So you're starting with a frequency of calling in someone that you will want to settle down with. That's the energy right now. You want a traditional relationship. And for some of you, you may have been married in the past before or had a high-level commitment in the past as well. And it could have shook your very foundations. You may have had a shock in love for some of you, and you're just recalibrating. It taught you a lot, but it certainly taught you about your personal power and what you will accept in a relationship, and certainly what you will not accept in a relationship as well there. We have the Sun as an outcome. So that means what you're reaching for right now, you shall have. You're going through a period of blossoming. I feel like you are leaning into the beauty in life, tapping into your raw energy, your passions, driving out the old to start afresh. A lot of you may feel very fed up with the dating scene, exhausted. You may have even, there goes one of those trucks I was talking about. I hope it's not too loud there. But with the Tower energy, it can indicate that, you know, you have felt like you're the sort of person where you feel sometimes you're on the outside looking in, how you feel like, you know, you're an old soul traversing a very new world that you feel somehow you don't fit into, but you're going to meet a person who actually matches your vibration in a relationship where there is a togetherness, okay? And also, some of you may have removed yourself from the dating scene, because the Tower can literally be that you've been a bit of a homebody over the last couple of years. Perhaps you've been, you know, experiencing a lot of change and challenge in your personal life. And it's not that you don't want love. You've been dealing with responsibility and trying to hold it all together. But I feel there is a gear shift going on in your life right now where you're reaching for something more. You just want to be happy. You want to meet a person that you have an affinity with. There's an attraction, there's a spark, a warmth. You can take pleasure in spending time together. Not just a companion though. Someone who, you know, has that spark. That's something else that no one else has, because you have it and you deserve someone who matches that vibe. But with that Hierophant energy, this is a card of community as well. So a lot of you, you know, if you're not going to school, for example, or going to college or putting yourself on a course of learning, this could be that, you know, you may be training in something that brings community together. So it could be that you're a healer. Could be that, you know, you're training to be a yoga master or mistress, for example, or it could be that you are training in Reiki or training in some sort of healing practice, or actually just taking part in some sort of mindfulness. So it could be that you're integrating in community in some way to, you know, heal. And this could be through things like yoga, Pilates, or mindfulness, meditation. So you could be interested in those practices right now in order to learn more about your body's needs and your sensitivities, your triggers, in order to understand yourself a little bit more, because this of course is the inner learning card. So it's all about who you are, what you desire in a relationship, you know, what you certainly don't want, what your body needs as well, you know, body, mind, and soul. So I feel a lot of you, this is you on pause, as it were, on purpose, in order to really define what it is that you want in a relationship and be super precise, okay? I feel like you're learning about yourself as well. You know, in a solitary energy, we learn more about what we're capable of. And I feel a lot of you are overgivers. You share so much of yourself, but this is your time to give back to yourself. And there may be a lot of revelations there, because the Hierophant can be a revelation card. And you've also got a Tower, which is a surprise. It's a revelation. It literally says revelation on that card, but it's in the resistance position at first. So it indicates that for some of you, you may have got stuck in a routine or a cycle of repeat that you feel it's really hard to get out of. And when you like peek outside to see if there's anyone that is on the dating scene that has what you're looking for, I feel, you know, you end up kind of like going, well, I'm just going to keep myself to myself and withdrawing, because there's no one out there. It's challenging, it's hard, and you just feel like everyone's so inconsistent, so wishy-washy, so indecisive, like not matching your rhythm right now. So I feel a lot of you may have withdrawn, because remember, the Tower is a tower of power as well. So if you're not rebuilding something in your life, I feel a lot of you, it's that you are someone who's independent, you stand out. You know, you have been building in confidence as well. And you may feel that the life that you have kind of set up for yourself right now, it's like a relationship could cause chaos to a routine or something, but the right person will not do that, okay? Some of you may have been vulnerable in love as well, but I feel right now, you know, if you've been heartbroken or you've been challenged in love in the past, let down, disappointed, or things did not go the way you'd hoped for, love did not meet your expectation, I feel like you're going to be pleasantly surprised by this new person who comes on in. And I feel that this is sudden. You know, the Tower is not a negative card. It actually means something sudden, a gear shift, you know, a paradigm shift, or a sudden different way of thinking. So it could be there's a spontaneous event, or suddenly a desire to maybe want to take a course in learning something, language perhaps, or maybe some sort of mindfulness event just is popping up in your neighborhood, because there's something here that brings people together, because you have the community card to start. And with that illumination card, I feel this is you integrating to allow yourself to be seen, You know, the sun is all about raw energy, passion, but it's also about study. You know, you can connect this card to studying as well, to see, to be illuminated, to be enriched with knowledge that helps you grow. So I feel I'm also seeing a scholarly cap right now. So, I mean, this can be twofold. This could be either that you are training or wanting to train in something, or you're learning or wanting to go back to college, or there's something that interests you where you learn information, there's knowledge there. Or this could be that when you meet this person, this new person has just gone through this course of learning or just got a qualification in something. So that's coming out strongly, okay? No matter your age, we're always learning, okay? We're all the student of life. So it can be that, you know, there is something spontaneous here between either you or this person that you're about to meet that is talked about. But the sun is an energy of passion, of subtly seeing or being seen. And, you know, the thing that you were reaching for, because you've got the marriage card as your protagonist energy. That's the Hierophant. Commitment. I mean, a lot of you have responsibility on your shoulders right now, and that can be the construct or the confines that you're working with. You have so much on your plate right now. You're holding it all together. So many things to do right now. It's just so hard to step out of that routine. But often on a tower, you know, people take a leap of faith, because if you know, acknowledge that things are as they are and they'll never change, then of course they'll never change. But sometimes the universe steps in and sends a tower in order to thrust you into the unknown, to come out of a comfort zone. So I really feel here, because these are opposing cards, this card is the familiarity, right? This is something that is traditionally always been the same, you know, so it's like a construct. And then we've got the Tower, which is like suddenly you're thrust out of familiarity, and that's when you reach for something really monumentally exciting. So I would say this Tower is working for you, not against you. But if you are healing from some sort of chaos or some sort of heartbreak, I feel this is where you own your truth. And this vulnerability will actually open you up to being much more strong. And I feel this is you kind of really standing out and having gravitas. You know, when you're a person who's a tough cookie, you've been through some stuff, there's something different about you. Something inside of you changes. You no longer chase, you know, people, circumstances, drama. You don't chase. You become very still. You become a magnet. People go to the towers to look at the towers, okay? Whenever you go abroad or even to your own neighborhood and there's like monuments that people kind of go to visit, you know, they're just there. They're doing their thing. They're just stationary. And people come to admire towers or, you know, buildings of historical interest there. So I feel like you are learning about your inner power. You have that magnetism, that gravitas. You're really starting to own it, allowing yourself to shine and be admired. I feel this is you kind of loving yourself in a different way, kind of even looking at yourself and being surprised that, you know, you're loving part of yourself that perhaps you had low confidence about in the past. You may even look back at your past and, you know, there may have been a mindset that you were in where you always felt either insecure or looked at yourself in a certain way. You were never satisfied. Don't shoot the messenger when I say this. This is something that's just coming out right now. But you may be looking back at old photographs and going, oh my gosh, how awesome am I? You're still awesome. You're still that person. As you mature, you're still that person. You still have that gravitas, that magnetism. And this is like acknowledging that and allowing yourself to be seen, okay? So have confidence within yourself, because this is a confidence card. But I feel like there's going to be someone who comes into your life and they cannot, literally cannot keep their eyes off you, okay? So let's get to the Celtic Cross just to see a little bit more detail as to who this person is, when they may be coming on in, how you may meet this person, although my guys are giving me pretty strong vibes about some sort of learning. Now we learn many different things. So it could be, you know, that you even go to like a quiz night where you are taking part in a competition, but you're still learning because there may be questions that you don't know the answer to. So please take it as it resonates, okay? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides. I'm actually seeing as well a queue, not the letter Q, like a queue of people. So that may be relevant. People queuing up, lining up for something. I just see that in the water, so I'm not really sure what that's about. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm looking at this card right now. All these people lined up. Interesting. Okay, so perhaps that's relevant. So just bank that. It may not be relevant right now, but suddenly it may be relevant there. Oh, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, if you know my readings, you'll know that a Tower and a Wheel of Fortune, they tend to show up together because it basically means a monumental surprise that is going to thrust you out of your comfort zone. I would say that you're going to meet a person and it is by surprise. You literally do not see this coming. Okay, we have a Two of Pentacles there. Also, when you meet this new person, they're going to be so bluntly honest about something, it kind of shocks you and also makes you giggle. I'm not sure what this is, but they're going to be talking about something and they just say it how it is, so bluntly that other people may skirt around the issue or they may kind of like not mention it, but they mention it and they're so blunt with it, so direct, that it makes you go, oh, but at the same time, like do a little giggle about it, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. So it's a measure of this person's ability to be super honest. So that's coming through there as well. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Interesting that, you know, this confidence issue came up at the beginning there because, of course, the crossing card is a Wheel of Fortune, but there's a mirror there as well. So some of you may have battled, you know, with intrusive thoughts about how you look or how you feel about yourself. I mean, you are lovable, you're awesome both inside and out, and it may have taken you some time to acknowledge that about yourself, but you are literally at your peak. And the person who comes in right now, they're going to love you for all that you are, and then some, my guys just said. So I want you to be aware of that. We got Queen of Swords energy. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Interesting. If you're seeing the spread the way I'm seeing it, I'll show it to you right now, but I'll come back to the rest of your cards. But these two cards, they're actually aligned with each other, and both are reaching for something, reaching for happiness, reaching for something more. Okay, so I really feel this is relevant. So it could be relevant in that you are reaching for qualification, certification, or you're reaching for higher vibrations, higher attainment in a connection to your higher self. So whatever it is you're reaching for right now, this could literally be just a project that you want to elevate in, or something you're reaching for is going to put you in the path of meeting this new person, okay? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? We have the Knight of Cups. There we go. So love is coming on in. This is circumstances outside of yourself. I mean, I feel like you're going to be pleasantly surprised. All those images that I've just seen so far, these could be symbols or signs that you'll actually just witness rather than experience, that will be a signpost to you that love is coming on in. But I can see that love is definitely on its way for you, okay? So a lot of you are just getting your life into balance here. We got the World right there. So this new person, you become their world and vice versa. But also, it's important to acknowledge that it's like an end of a cycle. It's like you finally find home when you meet this person, okay? So let's get to your cards and show you the path. As I said, I saw people lined up, so there you go. But this card is your foundation card, okay? And it is the Four Swords. So right now, you're taking a break from dating. For some of you, it's a break that you decided yourself, and others, it's a little bit of a drought that was thrust upon you, and you know, it's been some time, but you've been in a quiet reflection mode. A lot of you are healing in this period, and I'm not talking about just healing from previous relationships or experiences. I'm talking about like healing from life, psychological healing, experiences you had when you were a child, throughout your whole journey. So a lot of you may have been very reflective or going through a period of nostalgia, thinking back in order to process and let go. But also, this card is literally like a spiritual retreat card or a meditation card. So a lot of you, as I mentioned earlier, this is about learning about your body's needs and where you extend your energy, grounding yourself, and recognizing your power. If you think about that line of people, you know, those statues there, I mean, there's a pyramid right in the middle, right at the end of that line as well. It tells me that, you know, you're grounding. Pyramids are all about grounding, channeling energy from the earth, getting more connected to who you are and your energy levels. I mean, Four Swords indicates an energy of closure as well, you know, closing out the past cycles and just waiting, reflecting on what it is that you want. Don't get me wrong, I see that you're super busy. You're not just waiting, darning your socks by candlelight, waiting for love to kind of like walk on by your window. You're getting on with life, but you're doing a lot of thought. You're doing a lot of soul searching. You're in a period of rest and recuperation from the dating scene so that you can give back to yourself. There was a need for healing here. And also, I feel this is an energy that's kind of nudging you to take your time, to slow down a little bit, because you have the Temperance card here as well. So there is a pace. So I would say here that, you know, don't rush into love if you have done in the past, or, you know, take it easy when you meet this person, because you are about to meet a person. You're destined to meet this person. The Wheel of Fortune is crossing your energy, which means, you know, you have had to wait for divine timing, okay? The Wheel of Fortune is an energy of being sudden, out of the blue, being luckier in love. But also it is a card that highlights that, you know, you've got it in the reverse as well as the upright, because it's a crossing card there. It can indicate that life has been a little bit chaotic, or that you've met people who are not destined to be with you, and that they caused, you know, certain patterns in your life to teach you lessons, difficult lessons, lessons you didn't ask for, but you're healing from those experiences now and you're moving on. The cycle is now over. I feel like fate is intervening to put you in the path of this new person that's coming on in. Knight of Cups, this person is offering love. They are attracted to you, I would say, right from the very beginning. And there's also an invitation attached to this as well, but I don't feel that you're invited to an event to meet this person. I feel like you meet this person and then they invite you to something that they book. Okay, so that's there as well. Now this person, they are exciting to be with. They are very fun. A little bit of an age gap. Don't let that put you off. This person's got to spring in their step, and so have you. I feel there's a lot of intensity and also very explorative relationship. I feel this is a loyal mate who's coming on in, and I feel like you're following your passions. There's a catalyst for change going on in your life right now. I feel like you're inspired to do something new, something that perhaps helps you learn in some way. And the universe is asking you to take that step, to kind of like envisage what you want to happen in your life. If you look at that mirror, it's a vision. You know, that person is not in that reflection. It's a vision of what that person wants to step into. So it's like, see the lifestyle that you aspire to achieve, or see what it is that you want, and the universe is giving you an opportunity to step into it. But also, I feel this figure, you know, there is no reflection. So a lot of you may have felt out of sync with your life, or you felt like you lost touch with a part of yourself that you've been learning about or trying to reconnect to. And I feel like, you know, you tend to put other people's needs before your own, and you may have got lost in all of that responsibility over the last couple of years, or the heaviness of life. But you're rediscovering yourself, and I feel like you're learning to love yourself aesthetically, as well as, you know, internal love, self-care, having empathy and understanding for self, being a best friend to yourself, basically. And I feel that, you know, the cycle of fate and good fortune is upon you now, and putting you in the path to meet the one. On the earthly plane position, Two of Pentacles. Yes, you're very busy. There's a lot of multitasking going on here for you, but I feel a lot of you may have met very inconsistent people. People who were out of rhythm with you, but also were either breadcrumbing or not looking to settle down long term. You know, I also feel from this card that some of you, there is an energy here of so much responsibilities going on in your life that you wondered if you had space to allow love to come on in, but I feel like you definitely do. And also I feel there's this energy of like already having a love story or a major love in your life. So if some of you have been in a high level commitment in the past and it disappointed you, let you down, or broke your heart there, some of you may feel that you have had your fill of love. There's just this thing coming out right now. It's in the water. I'm scrying at the same time as doing a reading, and it's like a scientific kind of like, I don't know, it looks like a magazine, right? It's like, oh, there's only 3 great loves in your life, or something like that. That's not true. That's not true at all. So I'm not sure what that is, but it's coming through. Like, maybe it's some sort of survey or scientific kind of breakdown of how many great loves a person is given in their lifetime by a certain age. No, not true at all. Okay, so I feel like you're destined to meet this new person who's coming on in, and if you feel like, oh, your options in love have been slim or it's over for you, that's not true. I feel like you're about to meet a person and you will not be disappointed by this person. Now, Two of Pentacles also is giving me vibes of choice. Okay, so I feel it's based on your choices right now, of where you spend your energy, time. This is a card that highlights you're creating space for new projects as well, or something new to come on in. So I feel like maybe some of you have been thinking about doing something, but you haven't had the time, or it hasn't been the time. So for example, if you want to book a course of learning, right, and you're like, oh, I really want to do this thing, but it doesn't start until next year, or it doesn't start until the end of the year. I feel a lot of you are going to book it anyway. You're going to integrate yourself on that, and definitely there's a person here that is going to capture your attention. So I'm seeing that very strongly. But it says here, balancing act, decisions, priorities, and adaptation. A lot of you have had major priorities to adhere to, and it doesn't mean that you don't want love. It just means that you've had other things that have been a priority, or things that you needed to focus on, because life has been giving you lots of changes and challenges, and you've been really flexible, trying to manage or be in the rhythm of all these inconsistent changes in your life. Life has been throwing you curveball after curveball, and you've just been like swerving or managing things, and you're like, poof, I don't have time or energy for love. And when you do, you know, you got the moon there, you're so drained, you're so exhausted with people's inconsistencies or people leading you down the garden path, and you feel people are very transient. But you're looking for tradition, you're looking for a long-term relationship where you can trust that this person is going to be by your side, okay? Now, in the past position, we have the Magician. Now, the Magician, of course, is all about manifestation, but it's also about stepping into your personal power. The magic is within you. You are someone who attracts attention, and you've been learning about your gravitas. As I said, whatever it is you've been going through right now, you've been learning to find balance, harmony, but also you're not chasing. You're not chasing people, friends, or circumstances. You're allowing things to come to you because you're exhausted. You've done the chasing in the past. And I'm talking about, like, if, for example, you've had friendships where there's been some drama, you know, you may have tried to give people second chances and third chances and all of the stuff. Now you're kind of just exhausted by all of that. So you're in a vibe right now where you're becoming a little bit more grounded, and you're allowing circumstances to gravitate towards you because of your natural gravitas. So I feel that's you acknowledging that you are the one. You're not searching for the one, you are the one. And that changes the dynamic. That attracts people to you rather than you putting your energy out there and giving your power away to search. So with this Magician card, it says willpower, creation, and mastering. I feel a lot of you are mastering your emotions, your energy, and also your thoughts. Because remember, thoughts become things. So a lot of you may have promised yourself to, you know, liberate yourself from a limiting mindset, or be more positive, or watch your words, because words are coming out very strongly here. Some of you, it may be a language course that you're going on, but maybe not, I'm not sure. But you may be really precise about the words that you use, because every word has a meaning and a vibration attached to it. And some words have double meanings, and you may be like aware of how these impact the energy. So for example, you know, good morning is a wonderful greeting to a person, but actually mourning also sounds like mourning, to be bereaved or to be in a sadness or a grief. So of course it is all about the tone and the intention and the vibration behind it, but a lot of you may be looking at words and how they impact you and your manifestations, and you're being very careful about that. I feel like you've promised yourself it's time to take action, to recognize that magic within you, or you've gone searching for magic. You've gone searching for the sparkle, as it were. I feel like you have everything within you to attract the right person, but also I feel like you may have been meeting people who have been very challenged or void of the depth of emotions that you're looking for. I feel like there has been this emptiness on the dating scene for your energy right now, because the moon can be a void energy there. A lot of you may feel like you've been drifting. You can't see how love is coming on in. It feels like the dating pool is a very cold, dark place right now, and you just feel like everyone is trying to get on by, and it's like you see through many illusions but there seems to be this kind of like depression, okay? And people are trying to find their way through this right now. And I feel that part of you has withdrawn because you just feel that. You're an empath. You feel that in people. And whilst you don't mind being there as someone who is sensitive and giving a lot of empathy and understanding and support to people who are going through things, I feel like part of your shift right now is to acknowledge that you want the great love story, you want passion, you want fireworks, and you may have even wondered with the moon energy as your presiding energy, does that exist anymore? Is romance dead? But the answer is no, because you're about to fall in love with a person who is very romantic. And I feel this person is also wildly witty, but in a very caustic kind of way. They're very blunt, and it's their banter, it's their love language. And I feel like you really appreciate that. You kind of like it. It's really honest and abrupt. And yeah, I really get that you and this person, it's a rare combination between you both, but you just get each other on a different level. Now, this is an intuitive card. So a lot of you could be like developing your spiritual gifts at this time, or some of the learning that you're doing is connected to, people, their instincts, their intuition, or as I said, meditation, things that bring peace or stillness to the soul. But it doesn't have to be. It can be just you learning things that you don't know, because sometimes the moon can be like hidden knowledge, hidden information, or things that you don't know, the unseen. But what it is giving me super vibes from right now is that you will not see this person coming into your life. They're just going to be bam, there. And you're like, whoa, what is this? It is love. Okay, both of you are going to explore this. It's exciting and very romantic, and both of you are really true to yourself. I would also say that when you first meet this person, very passionate, very instinctive, raw passion, right? And if you're someone who has the potential to get pregnant, but you don't want to get pregnant straight away, I would say definitely use precaution, because this is a very fertile relationship. Let's put it that way, okay? But of course, if you're someone who doesn't want children, or you cannot have children, for example, I'm only mentioning this because we have the World card and this person is pregnant there as well. There could be a really important conversation around family and what family or relationship looks like. Whatever it is you desire to have in a relationship, so whether you don't want children, whether you cannot have children, whatever that conversation is that you decide for your life, I feel the person you're being matched with right now shares your views on that. This person is looking in the same direction as you, which is really refreshing. You're meeting a person where there is reciprocity and they want what you want. Not because you want it, but because they've chosen that path as well. And the universe has matched you together so that you are aligned with the right person, okay? Now, we also have the Queen of Swords. This is in your near future. So this means a little bit more organization. This could be booking things. I mean, Queen of Swords also connects to like language learning as well. So maybe there is something there regarding learning knowledge or debating something or speaking your truth. But the Queen of Swords is an energy of being super organized, but also kind of looking to your future and asking what you want, being really direct with that. What are you reaching for? There's all this beautiful sparkly sea here, and there's lots of lotus flowers there as well. So it's like you may have been protecting your inner peace and keeping love at arm's length, but love is going to find you on the path that perhaps you may have even taken to avoid it. Even though deep down you may want it, I feel like you've had so many responsibilities or so many things on your plate. You're like, I don't have time. You've been creating time though. You've been getting organized or getting everything in order. And I feel like you will be talking to someone very, very soon. Swords are all about the mind. So a lot of you are managing intrusive thoughts, being really honest with yourself and saying, okay, what am I doing to put myself in a position to meet someone new? And if the answer is, well, nothing, because life is so challenging and it's hard right now and you're exhausted, that's okay as an answer. But then comes the problem solving, the solution. What is the solution? With the Queen of Swords, some of you may be interested in online dating or apps or chat forums, for example, or you're booking events that put you in a position to get yourself integrated and out there. You have the World card, which is all about integration. So wherever you meet this person, swords are all about the mind. So I feel a lot of you have a desire to enrich your mind right now. and your body and your soul. And this is going to lead you to having a connection where there is a meeting of hearts and minds with a new person. Okay. So, I mean, also, this is a Libra card. So I would say next 6 weeks, you're very self-sufficient, very independent, doing your own thing and giving back to yourself, being thoughtful about your needs at this time. But I would say it's not too far after the 6 weeks position where this Knight of Cups comes on in, which means love is entering your sphere. But your advice to yourself in this moment with that Page of Wands is explore, try new things, have new adventures, see new places, new faces, get busy, get involved. You know, this is a very adventurous card. It's also a very spontaneous card. And because you have, you know, the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Wands, this could be a spontaneous invitation. But I really feel more than anything, it's you spontaneously doing something and then meeting a person who then invites you to an event. Okay, so I actually feel like you're not really invited to something. I mean, there could be an email saying, oh, try this course. And you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to do it. That's very spontaneous of you. And it could be perceived as an invitation. But I feel more than anything, the invitation comes from this new person that you meet where there is a spark. And this person is like no other, okay? It's a rare partnering between you and them. And you just get each other instantly. And I feel it is almost like a mirror, I guess, of you. You're meeting like a mirrored version of you. And whilst some people may say, oh, that's not going to promote growth in a relationship, actually it is. I feel you just get each other and it's really refreshing. So it says here, exploration, excitement, and freedom. So a lot of you breaking out of a usual constraint or a habit or a repetitive routine or cycle. And I feel like this is a new adventure where you meet a person who's got that spark. This new person is going to be enthusiastic to meet you. They're going to be very excitable in your energy. They're going to be a little bit nervous, actually. Probably because you have a command over your energy by now, where most people would shy away from this independence energy because you see through people and their motives. They can't get away with their usual, you know, way of operating in relationships, especially if they're very inconsistent. But this new person, they know themselves. And they know what they want. And when they meet you, they want to know you. They want to get to know you, get closer to you, and they want to explore, you know, this romantic vibe. I feel, you know, when you get the Tower, the Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Wands, and the Knight of Cups, this is like love at first sight vibes. Rare. Okay, not something that's going to evolve over time. It's going to be like, bam, we met each other. Whoa, this is finally happening. So I feel quite excited for you. Now we have the Knight of Cups, of course, circumstances outside of yourself. Knight of Cups is attraction. It is a person who meets you and is falling in love. I feel this person is going to give you either a compliment or praise for something. And you're the sort of person, flattery, it gets nobody nowhere with you. But this person, they're genuine. Real genuine. You're like, oh my gosh, they really see me. It's not like a compliment like, oh, I love your shoes, or I love your hair, or I love your pants, or whatever. You know, this is a really thoughtful compliment. So for example, if you are someone who has like a little beauty spot in your iris, in your eye, okay, that is so small and you got beautiful eyes, this person's going to say, you know what, your eyes are like magnetic. And it's because I'm really drawn to that beauty spot. They're going to like pick up on the detail. They're really like in there with the detail. It's not like, oh, you have beautiful eyes. And you're like, oh, okay, thanks very much. It's going to be something a little bit more to that. So this is just giving you a measure of who this person is. They compliment you and they really mean it. It's praise. And it's high praise indeed. Because this person, they rarely give any praise to anybody. Not that they're mean. It's like they only give it when it's truly deserving. They really kind of conserve their compliments, as it were. This person, though, they are always the sort of person who will give a compliment when it's due. They're not afraid to do that. You know, if you go into a restaurant and someone is, you know, a great waitress or waiter, for example, you know, this person's like, oh my gosh, you're awesome. I really love the personable experience that you've just given me, you know, and they would tip. That's the sort of person this person is. you know. So anyway, I digress there, but we got the Knight of Cups. It's your external circumstances. So it feels like you're doing something for you, and the universe is just putting you in that path to meet the love of your life. This is a soulmate vibe. This is love. This is someone who becomes your lover long term. A lot of fun. This person has a great imagination as well. They're always thinking. They're very thoughtful of you. They will go that extra mile to kind of like show their affection. That's coming through as well. But it says here romantic, following one's heart, and idealistic. So I would say that, you know, you're following your heart and you meet a person who you're going to fall in love with. Okay. Now, the hope and a fear position, we have the Temperance energy. I feel a lot of you are worried that a new person integrating in your life will disrupt the usual things that you got to do, cause chaos. Maybe you've had those experiences in the past, but actually that's not true at all. This person's going to bring a lot of peace and harmony. They're going to work with your energy. They actually complement your lifestyle as well. But the Temperance card can also indicate that you don't want someone who wants to rush into things, who is impatient, who wants the goodies. You know, you're not going to give the goodies straight away. I feel, although it's going to be very passionate and intense and magnetic, I feel a lot of you, there is this energy of like slowing the pace. Temperance is all about temperate pace and acknowledging that the right person will wait for the right time. And you're meeting the right person who will respect the right time. I feel both of you respect the right timing. It's just organic. It just happens naturally, okay? Now, the fear, of course, is someone who is impatient or, you know, tries to control you in some way. Also, someone who's not aligned with you, who causes disruption, drama. You would hate that. Someone who is like a bit of a fuddy-duddy, who doesn't like try out new things. You want someone who's got vitality, who's in the flow, who's willing to blend and merge with your life and, you know, is spontaneous, but also likes that level of tradition, because you have the tradition card as well. And I just feel like you're going to meet a person who literally transforms how you feel about love, because I feel like how you feel about love has been transformed and it has not been a positive experience. So a lot of you have been trying to romance your life a little bit more and believe in love again, as it were. And I feel this new person who's about to come on in will help you do that. Now, your last card in the spread is the World, which literally means your final destination. You meet a person who feels like home, someone you can build a life with. You know, it says here fulfillment, harmony, completion. So suddenly, you know, you're aligned and you're sticking around with this person. It's a new era. You feel lighter. You just know that you've met the one, and all the elements come into play, okay? It's interesting that you have the Magician in your past energy, which basically means you have everything you need within you to attract the person that you desire. And the World card is an energy of completion, that you don't feel complete because you met another person. You feel complete because you've aligned with a person who complements your life, because you're whole all by yourself. And anyone who comes into your life is a welcome addition to the life that you've built. You're going to travel with this person. You'll actually move with this person, maybe even emigrate one day with this person as well. This person may be from a different part of the world than you. I feel like they do travel a lot. But this card, it literally means planting new roots. So I feel like you and this new person, you know, you mean the world to each other, and you plant roots with each other and you grow together until the end of time, right? You're going to grow all together with this person. So I feel like you finally come home to this person and you allow this person to come on in, because when you meet this person at first, even though you've got feelings for this person when you meet them, there's a little bit of guardedness or a little bit like at arm's length, but they prove to you with actions and words that they're in love, they're sticking around, they want to build a life with you. And that World energy, it tells me that, you know, you're both aligned. Even the World card, you know, you can apply it to mentoring. So either there's something about learning here or mentoring, you're becoming a mentor, or they are a mentor, or you learn at a place together and you meet there. I'm not really sure, but this is a new cycle that is upon you, and it is romantic, it is passionate, it is true, and I feel whatever it is you're reaching for, you meet the love of your life. I'm seeing the word commitment right now. So, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. So your final trinket is a pair, okay? So that, of course, is symbolic of two people becoming a pair, of course. but also a healthy relationship. The pair can also be relevant in some way. I mean, they could gift you a pair, or it could be that maybe, you go to a restaurant and have dinner if they choose like something with pear. It could be a dessert of some kind, or perhaps it is just meaning like a healthy relationship. Okay, so I'm quite excited for you there, my beautiful Librans. I hope something resonates in some shape or form, and that also those trucks and cars that are whizzing on by are not too loud and disruptive of your reading. So thank you so much, my beautiful Librans, and love and light.